everyone, welcome back to a new video. I'm Carl here at Carl Says the Guitar Tuition, and today we're doing a bass video, of course, and talking a little bit about bass. I did one of these videos recently on the 5 reasons why you suck at guitar. This is going to be 3 reasons why you suck at bass, and also a little bit about how to improve that and get better, of course, because that's the whole idea of this, right? I want to educate, I want to help, and I want to do all of those good things, okay? So make sure you tune in and pay attention to these things, and we'll jump straight in. Number 1 in this list here today is going to be fitting in and finding your place in the song and in the music, alright? As a bass player, it's really important that you do this and that you figure this out, because of course you're a much more of a backbone instrument and less in the forefront, of course, right? Forefront, you've typically got guitar, you've got vocals, you've got these sorts of things. In the backbone, in the foundation of the music, you've typically got the drums and the bass, right? The rhythm section. It's called the rhythm section for a reason. So it's really important that you find your place within that and know your place within that. You don't want to underplay, and then at the same time you don't want to overplay. So of course there's going to be lots of times where you want to keep things simple, keep things basic, and knowing the right time and the right place to play things, just like root notes and following the simple kind of notes behind the chords of the guitar and things like this. There's going to be times where you want to make it a little bit more interesting, so you've done the same thing several times and you're like, okay, cool, let's mix it up. Add in a bass fill or a slide or something like this. And then there's going to be times where you want to go off and do something a little bit different to the guitar and what the guitar part's doing to separate yourself and create a more of an individual section, individual part as well. And it's time spent and practice and experience that you will figure these things out and you will find these things, right? So depending on style of music, depending on the song, these types of things, depends on how much you want to play or underplay or overplay or whatever the case may be. But the most important thing is, and the most important part is, that you want to always be gelling with the drums as much as possible. Again, the drums and the bass go together. They're a rhythm section. You want to gel with that as much as possible. Find your place within that as much as possible. And sit with that in the pocket as much as possible, most importantly, okay? Number 2 in this list, again, is going to piggyback off number 1 because they're all sort of interconnected at the end of the day, right? And that is not knowing or not using things like walking bass or just scale ability and scale knowledge to find your way to connect riffs together, to connect root notes together. So going kind of back from what I was talking about before, where you don't want to overplay or underplay, a very common thing within bass playing to make it more interesting and more enjoyable for the player as well is just to use little connective dots, little connective notes, little fills that connect from part to part and section to section and things like this, right? That's the stuff that's really going to help and really going to make it more interesting and fun for you, but also more interesting and fun for the listener as well. Because people always say, oh, you can't hear the bass, whatever. Obviously uneducated musically to think that and to sit and to feel and to kind of know that, but obviously you feel bass, right? But if you're playing something the right way, if you've got the settings on your bass and the EQ and everything the right way, you are going to be able to hear that, and you are going to be able to notice the difference and notice the shift and the lift and all these types of things as well, alright? So a little example, make sure this is turned up for you. So I was playing Everlong by Foo Fighters with my students, one of my student bands recently, and I had to play it on bass because our bass player couldn't make it. Say you've got the chorus of the song. Just those 3 notes, right? And I was kind of like, oh, let's make this more fun and more interesting. So I was doing something more like... So definitely something worth thinking about and considering in this list here today as well. Okay, and the 3rd and final thing I'm going to mention and talk about in this video here today, it's dedicated to why you suck at playing bass and how to get better, is not sitting with the drums enough and not sitting in the pocket enough, right? Again, what really separates a good bass player or a good band or a good song is everything connecting together as much as it possibly can, right? And that is really important. Like, I would arguably say the rhythm guitar is more important than the lead guitar and things like that, right? Because the rhythm is the most important thing. It's the backbone, it's everything, right? So definitely 100% work on your timing, work with a metronome, make sure you learn and practice songs with the music. Definitely try and get out there and play with other people if you can, if you have the option to. I know a lot of people don't, but if you do have the option, great, take that option, use it. Work on sitting in the pocket, work on sitting with the drums as much as possible, your accuracy, all of these types of things to really grow and to get better and continue to be a good bass player, alright? So thank you very much once again for watching this video today. More videos on the way, more bass content in the future as well. I hope you enjoy. Any thoughts, any questions, as always, let me know. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next video.